Then 500 families impacted by Helene signed up for temporary housing units from FEMA. To date, only 57 have received them.
WRAL Investigates Sarah Krueger is asking FEMA why and when they can expect that relief.
There are many ways that FEMA helps hurricane survivors, like money for rent or hotel rooms. Temporary homes like these trailers are another way, and it's in that area that some are criticizing the agency for being too slow.
It was late September when Hurricane Helene hit western North Carolina. 2.5 months later, many are still waiting for help from FEMA.
I know there is no speed fast enough for somebody waiting on a house or a housing unit. 536 families have been approved for FEMA temporary housing, which are move-in ready trailers. FEMA tells WRAL only about 10% have gotten them. That's far behind a projection previously given by a FEMA spokesperson of 103 families by Thanksgiving. I asked FEMA why it can't keep up with that pace it promised and when people can expect to get off the waiting list. A spokesperson sent a long response that did not answer those questions.
It takes time to assess sites, to transport, permit, install, and inspect these homes.
In a Zoom call late last month, FEMA officials cited all those steps and difficult geography as reasons for the slow pace.
We are in a hurry, and I know sometimes that doesn't feel that way, but we are trying to move as fast as we can. But, we also don't want to install a unit that's improper.
FEMA typically doesn't put temporary housing in flood-prone areas. Some North Carolina lawmakers wrote to President Biden urging him to reconsider, a request echoed by Vice President-elect J.D. Vance in a trip to the region last week.
We need to make that happen.
And by Speaker of the State House Tim Moore in an interview with WRAL.
Those need to be deployed. We don't need to be having some bureaucratic backlog. They don't need to be off in some storage field somewhere waiting to get out. They need to be deployed right now to people.
FEMA points out many people have gotten aid in other ways. The agency says it's given out more than $47 million in displacement assistance and is currently paying for hotels for about 5,000 families. Sarah Krueger, WRAL News.